Welcome to Athan in Action. Today we got a special episode for you. We're going to cover the entire Fast Saga. I'm here with
Ryan.
How this is going to work is that we're going to go through each movie, give our thoughts about it, then give our best action scene and best line.
Done.
The first Fast and the Furious came out in 2001. It was directed by Rob Cohen. Here's the synopsis. Paul Walker stars as undercover cop Brian O'Connor. He infiltrates the street racing culture in Los Angeles. He meets enigmatic street racer Dominic Toretto. A series of truck heists are happening, and Brian thinks they're done by gangster Johnny Tran, probably because the vehicles are all three Honda Civics. But nah, it was Toretto. In the end, Brian lets Toretto go because he's a really cool guy.
Oh, man, without question, this was the best one. It was so raw, and it was, for the rest of the series, this was the most realistic, this life could have happened, and then the later movies, they become like superheroes. But this was raw. Oh, I loved it. My favorite one.
It's definitely the more grounded one, and the focus is more on street racing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The entire saga just slowly drifted away from street racing. They become literally superheroes. It's crazy.
Do you remember when we were younger and you would hear people going to the theaters watching this movie and then street race after?
Yeah.
And get into accidents?
Yes, 100%. I remember people even speeding off in their minivan thinking they were the man.
The Honda Civics?
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, this was the first of its kind, really. For our generation, there wasn't really a car movie yet. I don't know. I loved it.
Would you say the car culture kind of is dead now?
Yeah. I remember just going back to this movie, it was everywhere. Everyone was putting every dime they could into there was Toyota Corollas with big spoilers just to look anything like a Fast and the Furious vehicle, where now it's a really niche market. It still happens, but it's a bit more tasteful and it's not as common. It's quite rare now.
Because even the movies, as they evolve, the cars aren't like that anymore, right?
Correct.
It's not with the giant spoilers and
the window stickers. And,
yeah.
No, 100%, man. I fully agree.
What did you rate this one out of 10?
9 out of 10.
Oh wow, I gave it the same rating.
Yeah, I love this movie so much.
Honestly, when I was watching at the time, I didn't think it was going to be a classic. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just going to be a throwaway movie.
Yeah.
And here we are 20 years later. It's an American classic.
Oh man, 100%. I love this movie so much.
Best action scene for you?
It's kind of it's action, but to me it's my favorite. It's when Dom and Brian face off for that final race where Dom's in the Challenger and they're it's right before he wrecks it off the transport. To me, that hit home so much because I grew up in a very American muscle house, and get those tinky cars out of here, like that mentality. So it was very to me that was my life on the line right there. Muscle cars versus souped up cars.
That's why I brought you in. You were the only one that's closest to Dominic Toretto that I know.
Absolutely. No, that was my favorite for sure.
Best action scene I got was the truck heist.
First one?
No, the final one.
Final? Okay, where
when
he gets
Vince gets hurt.
Yeah.
These heists still happen in later movies, but this one it was like a 70s chase. There's no music, it's just sound and the cross cutting with the gunshots and Vinny. In a lot of ways, it's more thrilling than the later ones in a weird way.
Because it felt like you were there. It was real. Yeah. It was very raw. Just like the whole movie. It was a much more raw feeling compared to the other ones.
Best line.
I have two. Okay.
Okay.
So and they're small, but I love them. I love when Dom grabs Vince and he goes, "You embarrass me," and it's so alpha. But the other one I really like is when Johnny Tran is yelling at Dom, saying how he was the one who ratted him out for the FBI to come into his house.
SWAT came into my house, disrespected my whole family because somebody knocked me out. And you know what? It was you.
For the record, every Asian kid did that monologue.
Really?
SWAT team came to my home, disrespected my family, man.
It was you, Toretto. It was you. That's awesome.
I stuck with the rules and only had one line.
Okay, my bad.
And my line was, ask any racer, any real racer.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Yeah. And he gets his arms out.
Yeah.
Everyone's cheering him on. That's awesome.
Now for the infamous Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes, sir.
Directed by John Singleton. Synopsis for the movie. Brian O'Connor flees LA and hides out in Miami. Apparently he's safe from prosecution there. The FBI hire him and a childhood friend, Roman Pierce. They are to go undercover and investigate a drug lord, Cartel Veroni. No one remembers what happens in this movie, and neither do I.
Yeah, I can agree.
This felt like a spoof movie.
Man, in my notes I put very cartoony. Like, it was just so silly on so many different levels.
Like, if you want to compare, like a comparison would be the first one was Scream, and the second one was Scary Movie.
Oh yeah, that is. I want to give you props to that. That was the perfect explanation.
It's like a parody of.
Oh,
the first
was
one.
it ever, man? And just so over the top and so unrealistic. Like the part that, like, just the corniest part is, remember they put the ejector seats in the passenger seats. Just that was so over the. Oh, just yeah, very over the top.
Oddly enough, the series is over the top now, but it's more welcomed.
Yeah, well, like it doesn't have like a cartoon feel to it, whereas Too Fast, Too Furious was like you said, it was almost a parody.
Yeah.
Now we've kind of accepted they're no longer street racers, they're action heroes, and we still love it, right? Where that one was just very, very corny.
Best action scene, if you remember any of them.
Even though it was corny, it felt like you're a big kid. You still love the crashes, the car racing. That scene where they're earning the job, that was a pretty exciting scene. Like a lot of car crashes and just good racing. And
Earning the job, didn't they redo that scene in Fast and Furious, the fourth one?
I don't know. Explain.
They had to like earn the job by going into street race in part 4.
Oh yeah, for Braga.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, for sure, but just that one, all those cars are like, ready, go. And they're all starting sprinting to their vehicles. And it's kind of like you see the old school muscle versus the new versus kind of the hybrid. There's somewhere in between. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
So for me, I gave best action scene to the first street racing scene.
Okay.
Like, I don't remember it being good, but the only thing I remember is the close-up and their eyes are like looking left and right and like shifting gears.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really the only creative thing in this movie
Yeah.
that I remembered.
And going off the bridge.
Best line.
Roman, when he yells at Brian, he goes,
He did the stare and drive on you, didn't he? He got that from me.
That's my pick for favorite line as well.
is it really?
Yeah.
No way. That's awesome.
It's the only one I remember from this
Yeah.
very unmemorable movie.
Yes.
What did you give the overall movie out of 10?
3.5.
I give it a 4.
Okay, close.
We have very different views on this next one,
Yeah,
I believe.
somewhat.
Tokyo Drift, 2006, directed by Justin Lin. The synopsis. Troubled high school student Sean Boswell is sent to Japan to live with his dad. He gets involved in the drifting culture and becomes friends with Han, cool Asian guy. Turns out, super cool guy Han is stealing money from his business partner DK. To add salt to the wound, Sean is moving in on DK's girl. DK, the real victim, here kills Han and threatens Sean. A street race on a mountain solves everything and everybody lives happily ever after.
Pretty much, yeah. The addition of Han was awesome. He was such a good character. Do you know if this was written before 456? Like, was making 456 a prequel to that? Like an afterthought? Because they're like, man, everyone loves this character? Or
Yeah, they were basically figuring it out as they go, right?
yeah.
Well, you know where Han's from, right? Like his character.
You've told me before.
Yeah. So the director Justin Lin, his breakout movie was Better Luck Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's about high schoolers, Asians,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a character in there with a muscle car named Han,
Okay.
and theoretically it's the same Han.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very
It's like-
cool. So it's kind of in the same universe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And oddly enough, in that movie, they actually say our lives were moving fast and furious.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Wow. Very cool.
So I love this movie.
Mm.
I'll tell you why I love it. It's the last gritty street racing one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last real one. If anything, it's probably the only true real sequel to the first Fast and the Furious in terms of tone and style.
Correct.
And also Justin Lin, he kind of figured out the formula here. Because to him, the Fast and the Furious movies were about outcasts forming a family and being united, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and I understand Sean's not exactly the best
Mm-hmm.
main character. I'm not a fan of him either.
That's what throws me off is the continuity of Sean, where he can't understand basic Japanese language, but then he's in a school and you're like, how? I know, to me, I'm like, how is he going to learn all day? And then you're just like, he didn't even know what shoes were called. He goes, huh? And like, I'm just like, oh, it threw me off. And then it was, for me, it was hard to connect Sean.
What's that word you called me? Gaijin?
Gaijin, yeah.
DK's pretty damn cool, though.
Oh, yeah.
The
Was he
villain,
ever, man?
quote
Yeah.
unquote villain.
He had awesome hair. I remember watching that. I'm like, I kind of want hair like that. Just flick down in the front.
Did you feel for DK? Like when I explained that synopsis here? Like basically Han's like stealing from him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of weird how you root for Han, but then you're like, wait, he's a criminal. He's stealing from his brother.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick about it too.
Yeah.
Remember when he confronts him and he's
Yeah,
like,
he's like, it's
this
part
is,
of-
it's
this
like
is-
this is how we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's all part of the game. Or yeah, yeah.
Best action scene.
I love the opening scene of when they're racing in the construction site. They're driving through the houses and all that. Like, it was pretty like raw, and I don't know. I liked
Oddly,
it. Man.
the scene that has no drifting.
Yeah, that's true. It was just cool when they're like, when they're bouncing off the porta potties, and
Yeah.
the one part where he like commits and goes right through the house. That was a pretty cool part, man.
For me, was the first parking garage race.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Like his
yeah.
first introduction.
Yeah.
And Han gives him the car and he's like trying to learn how to drift.
And he breaks the the Mona Lisa.
Honestly, this was the first time I've seen drifting in a movie.
Yep, me as well.
Yeah. And it was just cool how it's like, when you think of drifting, you don't think of a parking garage.
No.
It's like, where's the room, right? So,
Yeah. No, and that movie was shot well as well. The drifting, all the real tight enclosed shots, the cars just like slow motion going sideways. It was very, very attractive. Absolutely.
Best line.
This is Han talking to Sean Boswell. He goes, I have money. It's trust and character I need around me.
I have money. It's trust and character I need around me. And who you choose to be around you, let you know who you are. And one car in exchange for knowing what a man's made of. That's a price I can live with.
That's actually my same choice, but I
No
only
way.
just the first part.
That's awesome.
I have money. It's trust and character I need around me.
Cool.
Meanwhile, he's stealing from his business partner / brother.
Yeah.
And Sean is moving in on DK's girl.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy he brings in is, he's totally screwing over DK.
Out of 10.
I
Overall
give
movie.
7.
7?
Yeah.
Dick.
What'd you do?
I gave it a 9.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I love this
Okay.
movie.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites. I feel it's so criminally underrated and overlooked.
For that good of a movie though, they should have casted the main character better.
Yeah, they definitely should have.
I don't know if they were going for someone with like a strong southern accent to make him seem more American, or I don't know what they're going for, but that was just poor casting in my opinion.
Guy Gene.
Yeah.
Next one, Fast and Furious, the fourth one. This weird reboot in 2009.
Yeah.
Directed by Justin Lin. The synopsis. Dominic Toretto returns. He finds out Letty has been murdered. Meanwhile, Brian O'Connor and the FBI are trying to track Mexican drug lord Braga. They cross paths and work together to take down Braga. Brian retires from the FBI and Dom is sent to prison for 25 years for his previous crimes. The end. I do not like this movie.
No?
No.
That opening scene was pretty cool. With the gas tankers.
There's cool parts to it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But I,
yeah.
I do not like this movie. Like, I get what
Yeah.
they were trying to do. It's like bring the game back together, back
Yeah,
to LA.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
When I just walked out of the theaters being really underwhelmed and I didn't remember any of it. It just didn't stick with me.
I could see that.
Your thoughts? Were you one of the ones that like loved this one?
I liked it, and there's a lot of muscle car in it, which attracts me. So for that aspect, I liked it. Yeah, if this was the starter movie, the series wouldn't have continued for sure. It's the fact that we love Fast and the Furious; they can kind of keep going. But no, this wasn't a very good one.
No. It was like a soft reboot.
Yeah,
That's why they didn't call it 4. They just said Fast and Furious,
yeah, yeah.
which I found a little weird.
Hmm.
It felt like a filler movie. It's like you need this movie to get to Fast 5, the much better one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Best action scene.
Oh, the gas tanker at the beginning. It's exciting when the actual tank is bouncing towards him and he's timing his drift properly just to go under it, and Letty's freaking out. And
Oh yeah, because all of a sudden he drifts now. Ever
yeah,
since
yeah,
COVID.
yeah. So then the third one comes out, and also now Dom knows how to drift.
Everybody drifts.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for much of the car stuff. Like even the ending, like the chase,
Mm-hmm.
it looks so fake. The underground chase.
Yeah. You would have to be the world's best driver to get through that thing. That was a little unrealistic.
But it looked really cartoony, even though they actually filmed underneath something, which is weird. So I put it to Brian O'Connor's parkour sequence, like his introduction.
Oh, yeah?
I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. Okay.
Best line.
I wonder if we have the same one on this one. When Braga, Dom, and Brian are at the bar.
Yeah,
Is that what you picked?
I got it too.
Oh, yeah.
You want to say it? Go ahead.
Sure. He used to date my sister. And then Braga goes, "You're a lucky man." Brian goes, "How's that?" He goes, "You're still breathing." That's an awesome line.
He had a more of an accent though. How he's like, "You still breathing?"
Yeah. That's true.
Out of 10.
This one, underwhelming. 4.
Nice. I gave it a 4.5. Just an extra point because I knew what they were going for. Like, kind of bring it. It was weird. It was like they were trying to go this trajectory of the superhero, the superheroes, but at the same time, grounded.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
guess they're just trying to balance that throughout the entire series in a way.
Yeah. But then it kind of goes off.
Fast 5, where things get real damn good.
Absolutely.
2011, 10 years ago. I still can't believe it came
Yeah.
out 10 years ago. Blows my mind.
That's crazy.
Again, directed by Justin Lin. The synopsis. Brian and Mia break Dom out of prison. They flee to Brazil and meet up with Vince. Hobbs, played by The Rock, are hot on their trail. They assemble a team and pull off a crazy heist that kills a bunch of people. Hobbs decides to let Dom go because he's a pretty cool guy. Again.
Yeah. The one thing I thought was cool about this movie, how they still weren't sure when they were going to kill Han off. Because at the very beginning, he goes, "What are you going to do with the cash?" And Han goes, I heard there's a pretty good race scene over in Japan. So, like, they were, like, planting the seed. Maybe this is the one before to make that sense. But then they obviously kept him for another 2 movies. But
Yeah, and then eventually the timeline just made no sense.
yeah. But I like that. Or, because at first we're like, why is he here? Like,
Yeah.
just quick told the viewer, okay, this is prequel. Absolutely.
Best action scene for you.
Oh, I don't even need to look. Dom versus The Rock, Hobbs.
All right.
Right? I mean, just the one-on-one combat, and Dominic Toretto, who's a foot shorter than The Rock, but spares his life at the end there. Doesn't kill him, but yeah, no, I gotta say that it's pretty exciting seeing them finally go at it like that.
Yeah. And by the way, I've already done a full review of this movie in one of our episodes. I'll put a link in the description. That's why I don't have much to say. Just check out that video podcast.
Yeah.
My favorite, it's got to be the vault heist.
Oh, where they're swinging the vaults against all the cars driving through.
I've never seen that in any movie. Like
Yeah.
it's so new and fresh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
that's it.
Best line.
Oh, I bet you we got the same one too.
We'll see.
You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
Mine is just, this is Brazil.
This is Brazil. That was awesome.
Out of 10, what'd you give this one?
6.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't like Fast 5?
I don't know.
I find that weird.
Yeah.
This is like a lot of people's favorites.
Fast 5 was?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
All right.
Really? You got to explain. Why don't you like Fast 5?
Sorry, I'm not trying to knock your view, but I thought the vault thing was kind of silly. Because I'm like, it just, it's not real.
It's not real.
It's so, like, for how heavy that thing is, there's no way a Dodge Charger's pulling that thing.
Not to mention all the innocent people getting killed.
Totally. Like,
I know. I have a problem with
100,
that.
I mean.
Again, I say to that podcast episode, check it out.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Like that, like, I really pay attention to the continuity. Like, I get it's a movie, obviously. But it's just so unrealistic. That scene, I couldn't connect with it.
I get it. But yeah, a lot of people do find this the most high octane action, the best one, because they officially dropped the street racing stuff. It's like it's just heist now.
Yeah.
This is when it like officially evolved into something else.
And another thing, I like just the continuity of it. Do you remember when they got all 4 of those cop cars?
Yeah.
And Dom came in first, and then Brian came in second. And I'm like, to me, all those cop cars would just be automatic. It's just whoever puts their foot to the gas pedal first is winning that race. There's no skill in a straight line race.
Yeah, were they gear shifting?
In the scene, were they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I'm thinking those cars are obviously automatic. You don't see cop cars with a standard shift. Like, I don't know. That scene, like, I just
right.
couldn't, I couldn't connect.
I get it. You hate the car stuff wasn't realistic. No worries.
Yeah.
I give it a 10 out of 10. Definitely one of the best.
Oh
in the
my
series.
gosh, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I liked how it went to new territory,
Okay.
but it was like right before it got too crazy. 5 and 6 are
Okay.
bangers in my opinion.
6 was absolutely.
Yeah. Next up, Fast 6 or Fast and Furious 6. Again directed by Justin Lin. Synopsis. Hobbs needs help. He hires Dom and his team to find another team just like them. Letty's alive and working with a villain, Owen Shaw. They fight the bad guys in a giant runway, and Letty returns to the good side. The end.
How do you feel about how they brought Letty back?
Yeah. Whatever. But still, this is my personal favorite of the series.
Okay. Yeah,
I
no,
love
this is a
6.
great one.
6 is amazing.
That plane scene was unreal.
It was
Yeah.
very unrealistic too, but yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the world's longest airstrip.
I know you've never been on a plane or that you remember. But
Yeah.
takeoff is like 20 seconds,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah.
like 10 seconds.
Not like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be the world's longest runway. Because they're pretty much at like full speed the whole time.
I'm always a sucker for like mirror matches in movies where like they meet their equal.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And this one, it was like the evil version of them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, everyone kind of equal. Letty did too with the girl from The Mandalorian. I can't remember her name from the movie.
Gina Carano,
Yeah.
the girl that's canceled now.
Oh, she canceled. Or we'll talk after.
That'll be something else.
All right.
We're not gonna get into it.
All
She's
right, all right.
canceled.
All right.
Canceled. I feel like it's the best one, the best fights, the best action, and the best paced. Like there was like constant forward momentum.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
found.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Best action scene.
The plane scene, without question.
Really?
Oh man, that was so exciting. Just again, they're kind of coming into their own of being these like super.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call them superheroes or just action stars, but just the level that it stepped up to, just the cables hanging off the plane and the plane's trying to take off and the cars are dangling there. Like it was exciting. Oh man. And the fact that they're like hand-to-hand combat on the inside, shotguns going off, and that's a really exciting scene. Absolutely.
It's good. Definitely might even be the best ending, I'd say.
Yeah.
Possibly. Wait, no, I like Fast 5 better, but you hate it.
I was kind of sad to see Giselle go. I didn't think she was there long enough. But I mean,
I'm sure they'll bring her back.
yeah, she didn't actually die when she jumped off the plane.
For me, it was the tank sequence on the highway.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just really like how for the first time they actually cared about human beings.
Yeah?
Because remember, Dom's like, take them away from the people.
Yeah.
For the very first time.
And the world's fastest tank.
Yeah.
That was like catching up to like sports cars.
Best line.
Oh, I liked when Letty shot the Mandalorian girl, Gina, when she goes, wrong team, bitch, and then shoots the spear through her chest. You?
For me was also during the tank sequence where they're like freaking out and Brian goes, hey, we do what we do best. Improvise.
That's cool.
So being my favorite, I gave this movie a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
What did you give it?
8.5.
Nice. I can't believe it's not a 10.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
I got to be blown away for a 10. Like my favorite of the series, I gave a 9.
The next one, I believe it's the first one that made $1 billion.
Oh, really? Wow.
Furious 7, I think. Leave a comment.
Well, you know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out in 2015, directed by James Wan this time. Synopsis. Owen Shaw's older brother, Deckard Shaw, wants revenge, and he starts hunting the team. Then there's a subplot about a device called God's Eye. They fight the bad guys all over Los Angeles at the end. Yeah, this was another one that I didn't really like, to be honest with you. The whole they're being hunted, and then they got to find the God's Eye to hunt him, whereas he's showing up literally everywhere they go.
Yeah.
I mean, understand, like, I get everything that's happening behind the scenes. It just felt very uneven. This plot just didn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I found.
There's a lot of opportunities to end the movie earlier than it did.
But I will say, this is probably the best looking one out of all of them.
Yeah?
Like the cinematography.
Okay.
Due to, like the different locations, like Dubai and the mountains.
Yeah.
And LA at the end. It felt like a Bond movie in a ways.
I can totally understand that. Yeah.
Like it was like a XXX movie. Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage was like a remake of this movie.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
I hated that movie.
Yeah. That's awesome.
How do you feel about this one?
I thought, I mean, the fact that, rest in peace, Brian O'Connor, or Paul Walker, sorry, going into this movie for the first time, you keep wondering, is he going to die? It was the first time ever where you felt like a main character, like him, you're wondering how they're going to end his storyline, because he unfortunately passed away in real life.
Yeah.
Other than that, it still felt extra. Like they're increasing them quite a bit. Like to be jumping or driving out of the back of army planes with parachutes, like it's getting extreme for sure.
But did you still like the movie?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm always on topic about continuity and stuff, but no, I absolutely, it was exciting for sure.
Yeah. Do you think this is better than like Fast 5 and 6?
Fast 6 was pretty good.
Fast 6 is amazing.
Yeah.
I guess I was just expecting more because 5 and 6 blew my mind, and then
Okay.
7 just kind of teetered out a little
Just
bit.
it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, and then another thing that bothers me was Jason Statham was billed as like the main villain, like this badass guy, right? And then by the end of it, he's not even the main bad guy anymore. It's that side character.
Yeah.
Best action scene for me was Hobbs versus Shaw.
Okay. Great scene. I loved it.
All right, what's your favorite scene?
I wrote down just how long the action scene was when they're driving out of the plane. That entire mountain hilltop scene. And it's ending with the hand-to-hand combat with Brian and like the transport sliding off the edge. Dom driving off the cliff.
Brian fights Tony Jaa from Own Back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a really long sequence, and it's just action-packed through the whole thing.
All right. Best line. What do you got?
It's corny, but like I love it just for how corny it is. When they're fighting in the parking garage, and he goes, "The streets always wins," and then he stomps, and this building collapses. From
That was my line.
Was
too.
it really?
Yeah. I wrote the thing about the thing about street fights. The street always wins.
And he just stomps through like foundations of. Oh, jeez.
What did you rate this one out of 10?
I gave it 6.5.
All right. I give it a 7. I don't particularly like this one, but I appreciate what they had to go through to get it done. I know how hard it is to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it a few extra points, and then a few extra points because it's the glossiest looking one, I'd say. Like it looks like a Bond movie.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, The Fate of the Furious, directed by F. Gary Gray. Synopsis. New villain Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, appears. She makes Dom work for her. Turns out Dom had a kid with Elena, and Cypher kidnapped them both. This leads to them battling with a nuclear submarine, and the Shaw brothers show up and save Dom's kid. They have a barbecue, and Dom forgives Shaw for killing Han because he's a really cool guy.
All right.
So this one you didn't see or don't remember?
All right. So I'm going to explain myself. So when I was preparing for this podcast, I was on YouTube trying to just watch scenes and stuff to remind me. And I'm like, that's when you said Hobbs versus Shaw. So I was like, the prison scene. Because I watched that scene yesterday watching YouTube. But I'm like, but then it showed the submarine scene. I'm like, okay, I don't think I've seen this movie.
Oh, okay. So you didn't see the movie, but you saw the clip while doing research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I would love to hear all about it from you.
It's definitely forgettable. It feels like 4, where it's like a filler chapter to lead you to the next one.
Okay.
They basically replaced Brian or Paul Walker with my favorite actor, Scott Eastwood.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Clint Eastwood's son.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
He actually has really good with chemistry with Roman Peters.
He kind of looks like Paul
little bit,
Walker. They
yeah.
both have like that pretty eye look.
Yeah. And he has like very similar chemistry with Roman Pierce.
Cool.
Funny thing about this trailer, I remember the trailer was like marketing as Dom as turning evil, and it was like the same summer where the Transformers movies, Optimus was turning evil.
Really?
I'm like, oh wow, all Hollywood just does the same thing.
Just copying off each other. That's awesome.
Yeah. But the reason for him turning actually made sense in this movie.
Okay.
But overall, like, I wouldn't say it's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
It's an average one. It's on par with 7 in my opinion.
Okay.
I give it a 6 out of 10. Best action scene for me would have been the opening car chase. The opening street race. It's in Cuba.
Okay.
And they actually shot in Cuba. Like, they were actually allowed.
Nice.
Because, the whole embargo thing.
Okay.
And I've been to Cuba. I've been to Havana. So seeing them, like, actually driving around there was, like, pretty cool.
Yeah. It'd be flashbacks for you.
Yeah. And it was also kind of like, they went back to their roots, their street racing roots, just in Cuba.
Okay.
How do you feel about Hobbs and Shaw?
Never saw it.
Oh, really? You don't have any interest in it?
No. I had no drive to see that movie. You?
I've seen it. I saw it in theaters, and I saw it once again afterwards. The best part of the movies is the Rock and Statham chemistry.
Okay.
The action, not so much.
Really? The action, not so much with two guys like that? Like, I assume the storyline would be pretty corny, but the action wouldn't be too bad.
Well, you heard about the whole contract thing, right? How under contract they could only get hit so many times.
No.
I don't know if it's true or not, but it was all over the internet.
Wow.
Because of, like, their egos. Like, the Rock and Statham was like, they can't get beaten up too hard because they have to look cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. One-on-one real fight. Jason Statham with martial arts or The Rock with boxing and strength. Who are you taking?
Probably Jason Statham.
Rock, I don't know. Even with martial arts, you think he could overpower that much strength?
Statham's like a legit martial artist, like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, karate, striking.
Yeah.
Like, he definitely has the technique.
Okay. And yeah, he's not a small guy by any means either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty small. He's like 5'9".
No, but he's jacked though.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
got
yeah,
some
yeah.
size to him.
I don't know. I just don't see The Rock as a fighter. I see him as an athlete,
Yeah.
I don't
That's
really
true.
see him boxing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he can box, I'm sure, but I could see him gassing, like, in an actual fight pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I could see him, like, being taken down and being wrapped up by Statham.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
But size matters as well, right? I mean, he could literally just, like, sit on him and win the fight.
Bull rush him and
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
All right. Anything else?
No, man, this is awesome. I'm happy we finally did it. We talked forever about just doing the first one. So it's cool we're doing all of them. First one's the best.
Oh, yeah. We got to do the thing. Top 3. Rank them. So I know you're number 1, first one. What's your number 3 and 2?
Number 3 would have to be Fast 6.
Okay.
Number 2, I would have to say, I'm going to go Tokyo Drift.
Nice.
Okay, it's such a gray area because they casted the lead character so poorly, but every other aspect of the movie was awesome.
Yeah.
I just like the main character so much. If we go back in time and just recast somebody else, sick movie. But it was shot perfectly. Like you said, like, just, it was so visually appealing, everything. And like, just downtown Japan, the lights, they captured it perfectly. Even like I remember just when they walked into the arcade to go into the back room, just it was shot so perfectly, so colorful. Like, that movie was so visually appealing. I loved it.
Awesome, man. I like that you appreciate the movie.
Oh man, the movie itself was great. Just the main character was.
We actually have the same movies, just different orders.
Okay.
So 3 is the very first Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is Tokyo Drift. And the first one's 6.
Cool.
I love 6, man. 6
Yeah,
is
yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
6,
Absolutely.
It's where it peaked.
Do you know why I can't give 10s? I don't know if you want to keep this in. Do you ever watch Dave Portnoy's Barstool reviews?
No.
He hates on guys who give 10s because he's like, 10 is perfect. You can never get any better than that. I'm like, that's true. So I'm like, if anything comes across better, I can't call that a 10 if I call that a 10.
Well, here's the thing. They've never been better than 6.
That's true. Point proven right there. Okay, you're right. You're right.
Well, that does it for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be back.